What's up, guys? Thanks so much for stopping by, and thank you for tuning in to part 2 of my June pickups video here on Retro Game Haul. Part 1, if you haven't checked that out, the link's in the description box below, where I get into my games, game boxes, Bomberman pickups, all that kind of good stuff. So if you haven't checked that one out, go ahead and click the link and check that guy out. So what are we going to do in this video? In this one, man, we got so much stuff that I just kind of had to partition things into two videos, you know, games, and in this one we're going to do consoles, we're going to do console boxes, we're going to do big box accessories, man. I wish I could pan the camera around right now, but it's on a stationary tripod, so just I can show you what's in front of me. I'm literally surrounded by this stuff. It looks like my consoles and video games have come alive, and they're coming to basically crucify me. So first up, we got a big box accessory for the GameCube. We got the DK Bongos that you can actually use for 3 games. You can use for Donkey Konga 2, and my favorite, Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. For those of you not in the know, Donkey Konga and Donkey Konga 2 are basically rhythm games, kind of like Guitar Hero, where you use the bongos kind of like a musical instrument to follow the beats and stuff, and you know, you're like tapping the bongos, you have to clap your hands at certain points, and it's actually kind of fun to play. But Donkey Kong Jungle Beat is actually totally different. That's actually a real Donkey Kong game that you play as Donkey Kong, where he's moving around, you know, just beating up bad guys and stuff, doing the normal Donkey Kong routine. But you actually use the bongo controller to do it. It's very, very incredible. The first time I actually got to play this, how well and seamless this works. Just kind of Nintendo being Nintendo, making really cool toys to use with video games. Like you tap on one side of the bongos to make them go one way, and I think you tap on the other one to make them go the other way. You tap on them both to make them hit someone. You have to clap your hands, so he does the Donkey Kong clap. It's just a really, really fun game. There's actually several versions of the DK Bongos box, another one of which I will show you in just a second. So we've also got the Donkey Kong Bongos box set. I guess the main difference between this one and the last one you saw is this one actually comes with Donkey Konga, the video game. So this, again, really no difference. This is, I guess, is just a secondary one if you wanted to get a separate set of bongos to play with your buddies when you're playing Donkey Konga. That's always cool. So really good box here too, actually. I'm kind of on the quest to get all of these things, all the sets of the Donkey Kong bongos, so I'm getting there. Next we've got a really good condition Nintendo 64. Look at that. See the gloss coming off that? How about that? Really good condition N64 box with styrofoam that I was lucky enough to get at the East Starland live auction that they do every month at their Gamers Exchange event, where it's kind of like eBay in person, you know, where you bid live against other bidders. And since my friend Meredith had actually given me a spare Nintendo 64 to more or less, you know, give me as a display piece, since I've already got one that I use for playing, I really wanted to get a box and a foam so that I could make one complete in box. And with this box, I can absolutely do that, so really cool. Next up, we got Virtua Cop in the big box for the Sega Saturn, complete with the light gun and the game instruction manual, all that kind of stuff. Very cool. I remember playing Virtua Cop in the arcade with my friends, man. It was really neat. That was definitely when Sega was kind of one of the kings of the arcade shooter and arcade beat 'em ups, you know, with the polygony, you know, blocky 3D technology, which definitely hasn't aged all that well, but it's definitely still a lot of fun to play. Next up, we got a box and inserts, actually, for a Sega Dreamcast. I do have a Sega Dreamcast, but don't have a complete in-box one, so I've been after a box for one of these guys for quite a while here. I was very fortunate to get this one for not a lot of bucks. Pretty much anytime I can do that, I will pick one up. Next up, we've definitely got one of my best scores I've ever done. This was just sheer luck. Trolling eBay one day, you know, just looking around for things, and apparently no one wanted to bid on this but me, because I got away getting this for one bid. I got this for 50 bucks. The Sega Genesis 3 console, complete in the box, all the inserts, pretty good shape box, manuals and everything are in there, controller. This is totally complete, 50 bucks shipped. This is definitely one of the harder Genesis consoles to get complete in the boxes. They didn't sell that many of these. It was towards the end of the Genesis life cycle. There are a few drawbacks with it. It doesn't work with the 32X and stuff, and the video on it, I've heard, is not really all that great, you know, compared to the Gen 1 and Gen 2 Genesis. The controller's a little bit better, which is nice. You got the standard 6 button, so that's really cool. So I'm just looking over here in the corner of my Genesis collection, so I guess now I've got one Genesis complete box console from each generation. The first one, you know, like the Altered Beast one, then like kind of the Sonic era, and then we've got got this one, so very cool. And next up, we got a box for the Genesis, from the core system era days, I guess. This is not one that I had previously. I now have several Genesis boxes, and I'm always on the lookout for more because they made so damn many of them. A lot more than Nintendo as far as the variety of the system boxes. There's a ton of them out there with all kinds of games and add-ins and things like that. So whenever I can get one for cheap, I will usually do that, and this one I didn't have to break the bank on. And going right along with the Genesis Gen 3 console, we have the Sega 32X accessory, complete in the box. Again, just got really lucky on this. I think it was 18 bucks. Complete in the box, pretty good shaped box too. Manuals, everything are in there, it's all good to go. It also has Virtua Fighter 32X actually in there, so that's really awesome. Just really got lucky on this one, guys. I really don't know what else to say, but I've been after one of these complete in the boxes. I love the box, all the bright yellow colors and everything, just to add to the Sega Genesis shelf, or the Sega shelf rather, over there. So really cool, really glad to have this. Next we got kind of an obscure find that I found out on a local thrift store. I don't really know much about this. Looks kind of like a DDR game. It's called Pump It Up Exceed, the original Xbox. It's got the pad, and I was actually able to get the game for it in the box. But you don't often find things like this in a thrift store, actually complete in the box. That's actually really unusual. And usually if it's only a couple of bucks, I figure I'll pick it up. It may not be for my collection. I may need it in a trade one day, or just sell it and get my money back down the way. But just always on the lookout for anything that's pretty much complete in box. Next up, we got a PS2, what I'll call the blue box, which is one of the old school boxes. Getting a little bit tougher to find these days. A little funny story for you guys. So I got this in the eStarland auction, where again I said it's basically like the live version of eBay, where you put your hand up and you bid against other people there in the room. And no one else bid on this but me. They started it out at $5, and I was the only person that raised my hand. And funny story for you, they offered a coupon previously to their email newsletter subscribers, like myself, where if you spend $20, you get $5 off. So with my coupon, since I bought more than $20 worth of other stuff, I basically got this for free. That kind of pissed off a couple of my friends that were there with me, but hey, I raised my hand, no one else did, so I just got lucky. We all get lucky sometimes. I guess that was just my day. So next we got a loose console that I got again at the eStarland Gamers Exchange event. I got it from the eStarland table actually. Since I know the guys there, normally we can work out a deal when it comes to the little accessories and stuff like that. Just little things here and there, and they gave me a really good price on this guy. We got a black Wii, and why did I buy this one, guys? Basically for this. My prediction, and I will go on record for this right now, guys, these original Wiis, both the original white and the first gen black one with GameCube reverse compatibility, are eventually going to become very valuable. And the reason I say that is you can take the progressive scan cables that you can get for the Wii for what, $8 these days. So it upgrades the picture just a little bit, cleans it up on a modern television, hook it up to the Wii, and you can play GameCube games. That same cable for the GameCube with red, green, and blue goes for over $100. So basically this is like the path of least resistance, definitely the cheaper path if you want to play GameCube games and have the picture just look as good as it can possibly look on a modern television. So this did come complete, guys. By the way, guys, it's got the black Wiimote, black nunchuck, sensor stand, every piece that would go in there, short of the box and the manuals and stuff. So I'm working on getting a box actually to complete this guy, just so I can, I always try and complete things whenever I can. So Wii boxes are actually really cheap right now. So again, another recommendation for you. If you're in need of a Wii box, I would go ahead and jump on it, because right now they're practically giving them away. Just check eBay or Amazon, you should be able to find one really easily. So last but certainly not least, we've got a pair of what's called trophy statues from the 8-bit era of Nintendo. Similar one of these I actually gave to my buddy Tony on the last episode of Retro Game Hole as a parting gift. Hey Tony, how you doing? Hope things are okay for you there out in California. So I got a couple of these for myself, and how trophy statues worked, they had these little labels, as you can see down there at the bottom, where I guess the purpose of them was you would mark down your name, your date, and your high score, your best score in a particular game. They made these for several of the original Nintendo franchises. There's several, obviously, for Super Mario Brothers. They made them for Zelda and Punch-Out. There may be others. Those are the only three I've seen, but there are several for each. So in one we got Bowser holding Princess Daisy, not Princess Peach. It's before they changed her name. And then we got Mario stomping, I guess what is supposed to be a trio of Goombas, even though they are way too small to be Goombas. That's actually kind of weird. It's like he's giant or something. So really cool to have these. I like things to put on my shelves, you know, to kind of accentuate my gaming collection. I don't want it to look like a boring library, just devoid of personality or anything like that. I want it to have a little bit of spice and life to it, with little pieces like this to kind of show just where we were at as far as accessories and merchandise with the respective era of video game history, depending on the shelf and stuff. So whenever I can get little things like this, it's always a welcome treat just to add as kind of a decoration, so to speak. So that about wraps it up for this month's Retro Game Haul. I want to thank everyone so much for stopping by and tuning in. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video as much as I have just showing you all these little pieces of video game history that I picked up in my travels. A very special shout out once again to my friend Meredith for that awesome Nintendo 64 kind of lot that she donated to Retro Game Lounge. Very, very cool. I really appreciate that, Meredith. Thank you so much. It will definitely have a good home here on my collection. Again, thank you everyone so much for stopping by, and to all my fellow gamers, retro or not, game on.